Good evening, students. So today we will see the relation between current and drift velocity, mobility, and deduction of the Ohm's law. So let us start with the first, that is relation between current and drift velocity. So in the previous slide, video, we have seen the what is meant by drift velocity, Ohm's law, everything we have seen. So these equations are connected to one another, very important for your exam point of view, for your annual exam as well as for your entrance exams. These formulas are very important, okay, and this will be asked for 3 marks. This relation is asked for 3 marks, very important. It is repeatedly asked in many of the many years, okay. So it is very important, that is relation between current and drift velocity. So now let us see. Consider a metallic conductor of length L and uniform area of cross section A. So now let us take a conductor of length L. So let us consider this as a conductor which has so many electrons inside it, okay, that will be drifted towards the positive end of the, it will be drifted towards the positive charge, okay. Now let n be the number of free electrons per unit volume in the metal, okay. Now let us consider V as the potential difference across the ends of the conductor, and electric field across this conductor is given by it is the ratio of the potential difference to the length of the conductor. So the free electrons drift in the direction opposite to the electric field, with the drift velocity Vd. So now we will symbolize the drift velocity as Vd. So the number of free electrons moved in short interval of time delta t is taken as Vd delta t, right? Now how we can calculate? So now suppose we know that velocity is equal to displacement by time taken. So now displacement here is the length and time is taken as the delta t, and what is, if delta t is there, then it will be delta v. Therefore we will say the volume here, volume of the conductor can be taken as, so now L will be one dimension, that is the length. So now L equal to delta v into delta t. So here delta v is nothing but the drift velocity Vd. So therefore Vd into delta t multiplied with area of cross section. So you will get the volume of the conductor, okay. So we got this equation, that is AVD delta t gives the volume of the conductor, right? So now when we got the volume of the conductor here, so let us see how many charges will be moving in this volume of the conductor. So therefore when we multiply the volume with n, we will get the number of free electrons drifting in the volume so much. So therefore n into AVD delta t, okay. So therefore, and these will be transported in the opposite direction of the electric field. So now how many charges will be transported? So if there is a small amount of time delta t, then small amount of charge will be moving. Therefore delta q equal to En AVD delta t. So why we have taken here E? We are specifically taking the magnitude of the charge. So when we are talking the charge, number of charges moving in a small interval of time delta t, therefore we will multiply E also here in the equation. So delta q equal to ENAVD delta t, okay. So I think you have understood till here, okay. So now let us go to next one. So we have to determine the current and the drift velocity relation, right? So we are in the halfway now, right? So now we know that I equal to Q by T. In the starting itself we have seen the equation of the current, right? So therefore now we are taking the small amount of charge delta T in a volume at a time delta T. So therefore now we have delta Q. So we will take delta Q into I delta T according to this equation. So therefore for delta Q we will, in this equation above we will substitute as I delta T. So substituting I delta T and again taking this relation ENAVD delta T. So delta T gets cancelled here. So what we have is I equal to ENAVD. So this is the relation between the current and the drift velocity. Okay. I hope you have understood this derivation. It is very, very important. So each one of the equation you have to remember. So next we will move on to mobility. So what is meant by mobility? Mobility is nothing but the movement of the charges in a unit in a conductor of length L. So therefore here equation wise mobility is defined as and the symbol taken for mobility is mu. Okay, mu is or mobility is defined as the magnitude of drift velocity per unit electric field. Okay, so mu equal to Vd by E. And what is the SI unit here of the mobility? Meter square per volt into second. Then since Vd equal to E capital E tau by M, so this we have seen in the previous video lecture what is drift velocity. One of the equation we have got this one. So here therefore for Vd we will substitute in this equation above equation, that is mu equal to Vd by E. So mu equal to, so E and E gets cancelled here, so I will show here mu equal to E tau E tau capital E by E into M. So therefore E and E gets cancelled. What we have is mu equal to E tau by M. Okay, so this is what we have here, mu equal to or mobility equal to E tau by M. And what is tau? Tau is the relaxation time. What is meant by relaxation time? The time required for successive collision of between the two charges, that is known as the relaxation time. Now let us see what is the deduction of Ohm's law from these equations. Okay, now let us take the current equation of flowing through a conductor, I equal to NEAVD. So now itself we have derived it. Okay, and also from this equation, that is Vd equal to E capital E into tau by M. Okay, substitute for Vd in this equation, I equal to NAE E capital E upon M into tau. So E and E square, what we have, I equal to NAE square tau by M into L into Vd. And for E also we will substitute, E is equal to V by L. Okay, so therefore we got this relation, I equal to NAE square tau by ML into V. Now so here what is the resistance equation? V by I. So therefore whatever is the constant value here, so here this one, leaving the velocity equation, that is here I is equal to it will be, or V is equal to so this completely is taken as the resistance. So therefore R equal to ml by n a e square by tau. So this is the deduction of Ohm's law. This is the deduction of the Ohm's law. Very, very important. So therefore we can write R as ml by n a e square tau. Okay. So this is the deduction of the Ohm's law using the drift velocity. Next, what are the limitations of the Ohm's law? Limitations of Ohm's law. So the devices which obey Ohm's law are known as ohmic devices or ohmic conductors. The devices which do not obey Ohm's law are known as the non-ohmic devices. Okay, and the ohmic devices graph is linear. For ohmic devices, I am telling, the graph will be linear. So here, this, if we take the x-axis as V and this as y-axis as I, okay, or we can take the y-axis as V and x-axis as I. The slope will give the R equal to V by I. So wherever you take the slope, the resistance will be, or the ratio between V by I will be constant. So where you get the constant value, that graph will be linear, and where you get a linear graph, that will be the ohmic devices. Okay, so this is the relation. Now in diodes, LEDs, diodes, the V and I depends on the sign of V. That means they are not linear in the diodes. And for semiconductors, the graph is of V versus I is also not linear. So in these graphs, I will explain it completely in the next lecture. For time being, I will tell you there are two types of devices. One is ohmic device and the other one is non-ohmic. So ohmic devices are the devices which obey Ohm's law and whose graph of voltage versus current is linear. The non-ohmic devices are the devices which do not obey Ohm's law and the graph is not linear. Okay. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel and share with your friends. If you like the video, press the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you get all notifications. Thank you.